Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about a single phase induction motors. So basically they are a small rating machines. So that's why they are called as a fractional kilowatt induction motors. Okay. So basically these machines used in the domestic purposes. So first of all we need to understand the working principle of the single phase induction motor. So now consider a single phase, a single winding induction motor. So this is a single phase and single winding induction motor. This is a supply we are going to apply to the single phase induction motor. So if n into cos theta, n into cos theta is the number of turns so which are placed at the space angle of theta. So this is the space angle. So this is the angle between the two windings, that is the first winding and second winding. So this is the current what we are going to apply to the machine. So that is I of t is equal to Im into cos omega t. So by applying the double revolving theory, so in single phase magnetomotive force can be divided into two opposite rotating mmf waves. Those are rotating with the synchronous speed at opposite direction. See, if we consider the sine wave is as like this, positive and negative. Similar manner, so because of this positive and negative polarity of the sine wave, so these mmf, whatever the mmf are created or generated in the machine, they are in the rotate with the speed of the synchronous speed, but they are in the opposite direction. The first one mmf is, this is the forward mmf. So f by 2 into cos of theta minus omega t. This is the backward mmf. F m by 2 into cos of theta plus omega t. So both of these magnetic fields rotate with the synchronous speed. Because of two fluxes here, two slips are present. So first one is the forward slip and second one is the backward slip. So because of this, the forward slip is S, backward slip is 2 minus S. So this is the forward slip, this is the backward slip. So these slips defines the direction of the rotation of the rotor. So slip changes with direction of the rotation of the rotor if the rotor rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. So because of that, the main field forward flux and main field backward flux will generate internally EMF. So this EMF will create current in both forward and backward direction. So both are same. So in order to rotate the rotor, we need to apply an external force or we are using a starting methods. So main popular two methods are small pony motor and auxiliary winding. So because of the small pony motor, initially the induction motor rotate is coupled with a small pony motor and started and reached to running condition. The pony motor is separated and the induction motor operate its own speed. So because of the auxiliary winding, it is the second method. Because of the auxiliary winding, it required only starting purpose. So in order to create a rotor rotate either backward and forward direction, it will helps to main field winding terminals in the direction in the reverse, not by the both. Okay, so we are having two forces. First one is the backward and the second one is the forward forces. So these forces are same and equal in the magnitude. So in order to rotate in the rotor in the machine, we are adding a auxiliary winding. So this auxiliary winding placed 90-degree electrical to the main field winding, so that they are physically displaced by the 90 degrees. So the current flow through the this winding and some phase displacement. So that will create a current. It is in the non-zero nature. Because of that, either forward force or backward force will have the magnitude is high, so that the rotor will rotate. So now we are going to discuss in detail about the a split phase induction motor as well as the remaining classified motors. So split phase induction motor having main field winding. So this is the auxiliary winding. It is it is placed in the starting of the machine. So this is the switch. So we are going to supply a single phase. So this is the current and voltage supplied to the machine. So Rm and Xm are the parameters of the main field winding. So Ra and Xa resistance and reactance of the auxiliary field winding. The current through the auxiliary field winding is Ia. So the condition must be satisfied in order to start the split phase induction motor. Ra upon Xa is greater than the Ra upon Xm. So here the split phase induction motor is also called a resistance start motor. So it is a single cage rotor and its starter has two windings. This is a rotor. So rotor is a cage type rotor. The main field winding and auxiliary winding placed on the stator. So the main field winding and stator winding are displaced by 90 degrees in space. Like that, the winding in a two-phase winding motor. So the main winding has low resistance and high inductive. So the current Im in the main field winding lags behind the supply by nearly 90 degrees. So the auxiliary winding has the resistance connected in series with it. So it has high resistance, low inductive reactance, so that the current Ia in the auxiliary winding is nearly in phase with the line voltage. So because of this reason, the currents in the two windings are not equal. The rotating field is not in uniform. So the starting torque is small order in the order of 1.2 to the 2 times of the rated or running torque. The main and auxiliary winding are connected parallel during starting condition. Once the motor is start, automatically the auxiliary winding disconnected from the supply. So this motor actually rated up to 100 watts. So it is a centrifugal operator switch is used to disconnect the starting winding. For a smaller motor, a relay is often used. The relay is connected in series with the main field winding. So split phase motor having some applications. Those are a split phase motor are cheap and they are most suitable for the easy started loads, whereas the frequently of the starting is limited. It's commonly used in washing machines, conditioning fans, food miners, centrifugal pumps, floor polishers, blowers, small drill, office machinery, and dry machinery each. So it's having the low starting torques, so they are set down used to drives require more than 1 kilowatt. So these are the main applications of the split phase induction motors. So next one is a capacitor start motor. So here it is having a, we are giving a single phase supply to the machine in which a centrifugal switch it is connected. So this is the main field winding, RA, RM and XM, resistance and reactance of the main field winding. The current flow through the main field winding is IM. So this is the rotor in the nature of cage type. So in starter itself, auxiliary winding also placed. So that is resistance and reactance of the values they given here. So IA is the current flow to the auxiliary winding. In addition to that, the CS, the capacitor, is connected in the stator winding itself. So two windings are displaced in the 90 degrees. A centrifugal switch, this is a centrifugal switch, is connected and CS is connected in series with the stator winding. By choosing a capacitor value, proper rating of the value, the current IM in the main fielding may be lag with auxiliary current, that is current through the auxiliary winding. So that may be 90 degrees. So thus the single phase supply current in the split into two phases. So here it is a single phase current that is split into in two phases to apply to a starter winding. So the windings are displaced 90 degrees electric. Their MMF are equal in the magnitude but 90 degrees apart in the time phase. So the motor acts like a balanced two phase motor. As the motor approaches its rated speed, the auxiliary winding and this auxiliary winding and capacitor are disconnected with the help of centrifugal switch. So this is the centrifugal switch. If the motor once reaches to its rated value, this capacitor and auxiliary winding disconnected automatically by the centrifugal switch. So which is kept on the shaft. So the motor is named because it uses capacitor only purpose of the starting only. So that's why it's called as capacitor start induction motor. So now we draw a phasor diagram. This is the voltage. If auxiliary current is lead by supply and main field winding, that is IM, is exactly 90 degrees because of the capacitor. So the phasor sum of the auxiliary current and main fielding current is total current in the machine. So this is I. So these are the applications. Basically, capacitor starts motor are used for the load higher and frequent starts are required. So pumps, it is suitable for the pumps and compressors. So widely used in refrigerator and air conditioners, compressors. So they are all so used for the conveyor and some machine tools. Next one is a two value capacitor. So it is as like the capacitor start, but here it is we are using a two capacitor. So it is the circuit diagram for the two value capacitor motor in which we are giving a supply to the machine. So these are the main field winding. In main field winding, capacitor connected in series with auxiliary winding itself. A centrifugal switch connected in parallel with stator, an external capacitor is connected. So this capacitor basically used in at the time of starting. This capacitor is will help and it continue connected in running condition itself. So this is the rotor. This is the rotor is cage type rotor. So the purpose of the capacitor is only for in the starting condition only. So during normal operating condition, the line current is smaller than the starting current. The motor approaches the synchronous speed. The CS, this is the CS, is disconnected by the centrifugal switch. The capacitor CR is permanently connected in the circuit. It is called a run capacitor. It is long time rated for the continuous running. It is usually of oil filled paper construction. So the name is given as like this: capacitor start and capacitor run motor because of its construction. So applications are basically there are two value capacitor are used for the load for high inertia running frequency starts where maximum pull out torque and efficiency are required higher. So they are used pumping equipment, refrigeration, air compressors. Permanent split capacitor type motor. So it has a cage rotor. It has two windings named as main winding and auxiliary winding. So this single phase induction motor has only one capacitor which is connected in series with the starting winding, that is the stator. The capacitor is permanently connected in series with the circuit both starting and running condition. A permanent split capacitor motor is also called single value capacitor motor because of presence of the a single capacitor. Since the capacitor C always in the circuit, this type of motor has no starting switch. So the auxiliary winding is always in the circuit and therefore this motor operates in the same way as balanced two-phase motor so that it produces a uniform torque. The motor is less noise during operation. So because of these reasons we have some advantages. Those are no centrifugal switch required. It has higher efficiency and high power factor because of the permanent capacitor is connected in the circuit itself. It has high pull-out torque. So these are the advantages. So it has some limitations. Here we are using a capacitor in type of electrolytic cannot be used for the continuous running. Therefore, the paper spaced oil filled type of capacitor are used. So paper capacitor are equivalent rating are large in size, more and costly. So this is the first limitation. The second limitation is it has low starting torque, usually less than the full load torque. Thank you. With this we have finished the single phase induction motors.